No, we don't have a name, Joe Angel.
Do not have a name for this podcast.
But we can give it. What is this?
Basically, this is me showing you animes that I've seen or know about.
Yeah, maybe we should start there. What is your... How deep does this go? I could tell you my history, because I think we want to establish this first.
Yeah. So we'll do introductions first, names, tell you how long I've been in the anime.
Yeah.
Ask you what your experiences with anime is.
Okay,
and
yeah.
Then... Hey everybody, thanks for joining us on this podcast. We haven't
whatever the name is.
whatever the name is.
Whatever the name is.
I guess we'll go with I think what were the originals? Anime Me? I think that's what you first said.
Anime Me. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that's good.
We'll go with that one.
Well,
I don't think there's any.
I mean, it's.
I looked it up. I didn't see any other podcasts by that name.
You know what? Anime Me.
Anime Me. We'll go with that. My name is Joe Angel.
And I'm Salvador.
And I will be the, I guess, anime expert of this podcast. I've been into anime since I was a kid. So I'll be the senpai, as they call it.
I mean, I have some experience, like a little bit, like the kind that everybody else has, like the real typical kind of, we all watch Dragon Ball Z. You didn't have to, and people who are into it wouldn't say, oh yeah, I'm into anime.
You ever watched the Toonami and Adult Swim?
Some of it.
Growing up in the late 90s, early 2000s,
But I would, that's as far.
That's as far as.
Very surface level.
Mine, actually, which I think we've both seen this movie, Ninja Scroll.
Classic, yeah.
That's a classic one. Akira,
yeah.
See, I watched those when I was a kid.
So I watched them when I was older.
Yeah. Those I watched when I was a kid. But I think mostly stems from my dad and my uncle.
Which, by the way, Ninja Scroll is not for kids. Neither is Akira. Or any of these shows, honestly. I don't know.
The stuff I watched anime-wise as a kid, especially Ninja Scroll, especially Akira. Akira was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But there is one, so this was way back in the day, whenever VHS was still around. You could go to the...
I don't even know what that is.
You know what that is? It's a tape.
Okay, tape.
A tape is a little square box. For those you don't know.
You can stick things on the wall with it. Okay, good.
But the library here in Abilene, you can go and actually check out movies along with books. I remember going there as a kid one day, going through the section, and I saw something. I saw the cover. The cover was like an anime. It was of a girl. So I was like, what is this? It looks like a cartoon. I'm going to get this and watch it. It's called, Lane, the Experimental Series. That one is an anime definitely not for kids.
Okay.
Just the concept of it went way over my head. Like the idea of it and stuff like that. Like
super deep.
We'll get into that one too later.
Yeah.
I have that one in the lineup.
Oh, okay. Okay, so but here's before we get too far into it, what's happening is I am going to watch an episode. I mean, I'm guessing like the first episode, right?
First episode of maybe I'll go through the ones too and try and pick ones to just randomly.
Within a series.
Within a series that I think would kind of get you on.
Yeah,
so part of this podcast is going through animes that Salvador hasn't seen, but also trying to get him into watching more anime.
Yeah.
Because the reason we started this podcast because he expressed to me that he has friends, including me, that watch anime and stuff like that. I talked to him about it, but he doesn't really know that much. So I told him I would do this podcast with him to bring him into the...
And I'm going in. And
it's gonna be a long
I've got what, like I've got 100 hours. I've got 100 hours a week to burn. Yeah. So
you got free time.
I got some free time. I mean, because I've seen some of these things, and that's just the thing. There's just so much to watch. Honestly, just in general.
Well, now it's picking back up now. Like anime has really recently in the last couple of years.
I mean,
pretty much since like the pandemic.
I mean, honestly,
it's like picked up.
I have little nieces and nephews, and they're like super into anime, and like everybody, like the one of my nieces, just like she draws anime constantly, and then she talks about all her friends who all draw anime, and they're like all super into it, and they don't just draw it, they watch all this stuff, and they show each other the shows, and I mean, it's gotten huge. And so like I'll just kind of see some stuff here and there and not really know what's going on, and then I have some friends that tell me about it, and they know they're like tropes and like things I have no idea. Like I have so many questions.
Yeah, there's typical tropes, trends, and stuff that each anime follows. There's actually subgenres, I guess would be the word, as far as animes go, because you have the shonen, which includes Naruto, Boruto, One Piece, stuff like that. Those are considered shonen. Those are typically geared towards like the young boys, 12 under, around that age.
Okay,
that's what shonen.
That's me.
Shonen.
That's me.
That's you. Yeah, that's you. 12-year-old boy in a grown man body, going Tom Hanks big.
Let's do it.
You got I think it's shoujo. That's the girl side of it. Typically,
I should be writing this down.
Sailor Moon, stuff like that.
Okay,
Fruits
okay.
Basket. So those are typically toward girls of the same age as the shonen boys. Then you got seinen, which is the older version for adults, stuff like that. And then a long list of
all the other little
like all little genres and stuff like that.
And you go into the manga stuff, like you're reading the books and all of that.
Yeah, I started anime, and then in my journey along this anime line, I switched from. So there's a line you cross where you either stay. There's a path you come to where you say English dub or original Japanese sub, which I moved over to the Japanese sub.
Okay.
When it comes to watching anime, because to me now, I feel like it's more emotional.
Yeah.
Connection.
And there's also like you're like. What's the word? You're not snooty, but there's a certain
it's a little
level
bit of like snootiness.
Yeah, you're like
because even like when you get into it and like the meme culture and stuff like that on the anime side, it's like the English dub watchers are like on the low tier.
Yeah,
and like the Japanese original dub watchers are like put themselves above the English dub watchers.
But then the next level is. How do you say it? Is it manga or manga? Manga. Like if we want to be for real, it's manga.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's so typically a lot of these anime stem from manga, which manga is just a Japanese version of a comic book.
Okay.
So basically a lot of the animes that come with it come from the manga, which typically usually happens because the manga is doing well, serialization wise. They get
Are you telling me that I mean, we're not all of them. Are all of animes based on a manga or
so there's mangas. Some of them are based on a manga, some of them are based on light novels, which light novels is typically just like
short stories,
like just a regular like book.
Okay.
Light novel. And so they do well, they get picked up by the studio who wants to animate them, they do the whole thing, and then from there to
are you like the book was way better? Do people do that
for the most part? Just because, like, typically, so especially in the long running series, like say One Piece. One Piece is a series that's been going on for a long time. It's still going on.
Okay, is that about fried chicken? Or you just like one piece in a biscuit?
No, so One Piece is about a pirate trying to become a pirate king.
Yeah, actually, I kind of know somewhat about it.
Okay, so like
but that's like. That's what I'm saying. Like that's like a long one, right? Like
so basically the manga where the anime is, the manga is already ahead.
Okay.
So for the most part, when it happens, usually when serialization happens from a manga into anime, the manga's already been running a while, and so they make it. And sometimes the anime will catch up to the manga, and so they'll do like the side stories, side quests, side arcs. You'll have filler episodes, which sometimes include like a beach episode.
I'm familiar with this with Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z has a lot of filler.
I'm talking like 3 weekends.
Yeah.
And, you'd wait a whole weekend and it would show on Saturday. And they're like, tune in next week. I'm like,
tune in next week. Goku's still powered.
he's still standing in line at Apple trying to get the new Beats.
Yeah. So that's what happened. When the anime catches up, they'll go into filler arcs. Sometimes they'll cut it, or sometimes they'll like make a movie and stuff like that, which typically sometimes movies are not canon. So all the Dragon Ball Z movies before Super came out are not canon to the main storyline.
Once again, I should be writing all of this down.
Probably. GT is not canon to the main story.
Okay, non-canon.
That one was kind of like studio based, because at that time Akira Toriyama, the creator and writer for Dragon Ball Z, stopped after that Buu Saga. In the manga wise.
This all to say, you know what the frick you're talking about. I have no idea. So let's just get into it, man. You and I are hot off the press on anime that we just watched.
That's the first one we're going to talk about.
Are we going to talk with this? We're going to heat this up right now.
This is one of the main ones.
Okay.
When I thought about it, I was like, I got to get him on this one.
Oh my gosh.
This one has been going through TikTok. It's been going through Facebook. A lot of I'm pretty sure. Did you recognize those characters? I think I've sent you some videos on Instagram, like little clips.
You know what that? Okay. Should we just even talk? We should just jump into
it.
Okay, but you know what? There was one thing in there that I was like, I think I've seen that before. I think. But that's about it. Like, I'm not heavy into all of it.
Okay, so this first one that we watched together that we're gonna start is called Ghost Stories. So, what do you think about it?
Just before we dig into it, I thought it was hilarious. It's super funny. We watched it dubbed, and like I wrote down a bunch of stuff, but the voice actors on it are hilarious. Like, and as I was like watching it, I'm just thinking like, how does this watch subbed? Like, what is it even? Is it is it better or not? Because it is like, I'm watching it and I'm like, these voice actors are doing it. Like, these guys, like whoever dubbed these over, like all the little scenes, they had me rolling. Except for, I could go on about it. Like, all the voices were just like hilarious, and like when they were like hitting their jokes, like the timing was really great and stuff. And I'm like, would I be missing it? I think I'd be missing it if I was watching this subbed, right?
Before we get in,
dubbed is
dubbed. We watched the English dub of Ghost Stories.
Subbed is talking about subtitle.
So dub usually is English, and they'll typically prefer sub will be like the Japanese.
Wait, now what does dub stand for
though? English.
Yeah, but like dub, because when I think sub, I'm thinking subtitles.
Yeah.
Dub titles.
I guess it's just the audio type. It's just when original recording.
Yeah. Well, I guess everybody knows what dubbed is, but subbed, I didn't know what subbed was.
Yeah, usually if you hear somebody say, "Oh, I watched it subbed," they're usually talking about watching it in the original Japanese.
Yeah, original Japanese, and then with the subtitles on.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would enjoy it as much. I also couldn't take notes and write it. You know what it reminded me of? Did you ever see those old G.I. Joe? They came out like recently, and it was like when YouTube was first doing its thing, and they had these G.I. Joe, like, and somebody had dubbed over the voices. Did you ever see those? And they were super silly, and the voices were all crazy. It kind of reminded me of that, even like the animation style, which I loved. I got all kinds of questions.
What the audio from the English dub when I watched it reminded me of MXC. Do you remember MXC?
Yeah, yes.
How
the
ridiculous,
most extreme challenge.
Ridiculous. It was just a Japanese game show that they dubbed over.
Yeah.
And the English was just basically
and they're making up,
That's what this anime is.
No.
No,
wait, no, wait. Wait. No, no, go on. No, wait.
So, Ghost Stories is based off a light novel series, a literary series that this let me see. So it was, where does it say? I have it here. I have to take horrible notes, guys. I'm sorry. My handwriting's all over.
It's also dark in my room here. Yeah. We're in the layer.
Gotta make sure.
Okay.
So originally it was written as short stories for kids.
Mm-hmm.
this was like way back in the day, a long time ago. But when it got created, so they did short stories of it. They did animation. It was kind of like, think of like TV movie type thing.
Mm-hmm.
It had a special. They did it from the story. Then it got into an anime. Then it did into another anime, which is the one that we watched. The original Japanese dub kept it to the original storyline, which is totally different from what we just watched.
Oh my gosh.
And it kept to the original stories from the author, from the light novels and stuff. Everything, light novels, the short side movies, stuff like that, everything, all that stuff did great. There was a video game too that came out for it. I think it was on Famicom.
Okay.
It did great. When they came out with this anime, because they already had like a high track, like, hey, this is going to do good. They got some of the best voice actors for Japan to be in this show and stuff like that. And it just bombed in Japan. The anime did not do good at all. And they spent all this money and they were just like, we're at a loss. And so they just kind of like kept it up on the shelf long time. Kind of like Wheezy from Toy Story 3. No, Toy Story 2?
Yeah.
Was it 2 or 3?
3. 2.
2.
Because he's got the little...
Yeah.
The voice.
Stuck it on a shelf. So when like the English studio was... Let me see.
Okay, so how old does this get? Because I'm watching it and I'm kind of like, this feels kind of classic. Like the way it's drawn looks really like... it looks old school to me. It felt kind of felt Scooby-Doo-ish.
So it originally came out in Japan. The original Japanese dubbed came out in October of 2000.
Okay.
And it ran all the way till March 2001.
Dang, so 23 years ago.
Yeah, one season, 20 episodes. Tanked.
Wow,
it
tanked.
Tanked.
So I guess you're gonna get to it. They came back to it.
Yeah. So when everything acquired,
they went to it originally, and they just try to keep to it real. They got the voice actors to do like what was actually on the page of manga and
for the Japanese and stuff like that. Yeah,
legit.
They kept to the storyline.
Okay.
But for some reason, like the anime didn't do good. I don't know why.
But we didn't watch that.
No, we watched the brand new version, which was adapted by ADV Films, and Aniplex, which is part of the studios for America that do the English dubs.
Okay.
And so whenever it got dubbed, they're just like, they told the studio and the script writer that they put in charge, which is Stephen Foster. He was the writer and the director for this film. And so whenever it went to ADV Films to get dubbed, went to Stephen Foster to get written and dubbed, the only condition from the Japanese studio, which was Studio Perry, or Perry, I think I'm saying that right, was that they keep to the basis of the story and the characters' names.
Okay.
Everything else, what they're saying, the way they talk, their dialogue, was all up to him. And so he took this and he ran with it in a comedic way.
So they just rewrote it.
He exceeded.
Dude.
And because to the studio, they're like, we had like invested this money into, already that we had lost. And so they're just like, it was kind of like a go for broke thing. They're like,
wait, what year did you say? So they did it originally in 2001,
yeah.
But then they came back to it and they redid it.
In 2005.
2005. So
I think that's
4
to
to 5
when
years.
ADV Films acquired it.
4 years later.
Yeah. So they're like, we lost, they're just like, go
Let's
for
just
broke.
fix it.
Hey, just
it's already there.
Yeah, because the basis of the story, like I said, it's just these group of kids. They find one of the girls whose mother was kind of like an exorcist. Mm-hmm. And so they keep to the basis of the story, which there's this hillside where all these ghosts were being held, but since they're remodeling and rebuilding, tearing out the forest, they got released, and so they're just going through basically ghost busting these ghosts.
Okay, yeah. So we open in on them like driving in a moving truck. The dad's wearing his drippiest sweater. His
drippy.
He's so drippy. His Sunday's best. It says Sunday on the front of it, and he's got 2 kids, and the mother's nowhere to be found. Single dad, and they're in a new school. They're doing the whole new family in a new town thing. And then they run across some kids, and they run across some ghosts.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing, like they're gonna continue to run across.
Yeah, they'll continue doing to the original story where they go like basically exercise the ghosts and stuff and put them back.
It's Scooby Doo.
It's Scooby Doo. Yeah, Scooby Doo with more adult language.
Dude.
By the way, they do cuss in this. I wouldn't watch this with your kids.
Okay. Yeah, there was some adult stuff, and I was like, I think I wrote down in here, what is the age for this show? 'Cause it looks like Scooby Doo. It's funny. But then they're like making references. I want to say there was a Family Guy. He says giggity on there.
That's part of Stephen Foster's writing.
Yeah,
because he like in an interview and stuff, he talks about it. They ask him about like, hey, how do you like? Because it became a cult classic almost instantly.
Stephen Foster. So he's an American guy.
Yeah. So he
as I was listening to the show, I'm like, oh, this guy's got like. They had all kinds of American references, and I'm like, she says she's Christian, and those kids are Jewish. I'm like, are there Jewish kids?
So what he's talking about, the character Momo, her whole shtick in this version is that she's super religious, super Christian
religious
girl, and it's throughout the whole show's hilarious.
It leads to some like funny situations where she's just like, having a hard time with them like doing incantations because she's Christian. I was so confused. I'm like, what's even happening?
Yeah. But it's so they did kind of the same thing too. They got the English voice actors. There's like some of the biggest, like some big voice actors in the anime world as far as English stuff goes. Okay. So they kind of like. They got them, and even all of them kind of like read the script. They kind of knew what the deal was, and so they were just like, "Hey, we're in it with you, in it to win it."
Have you watched any of the original?
I have not yet, because I have heard about it in the community. Like, hey, the English dub, you gotta watch it.
It's the way to watch it. Yeah. Okay, because I'm watching it. I'm like, that little. I don't know what's the little brother's name.
Oh, Kintaro, I think.
I don't even know if they said their names. I only got a couple names. Hajime, maybe. Momoko. I got a couple names. I wrote it down. Leo. I think. I don't know some of these names, but I was like, I don't know what this little boy's name. And also, is he speaking words? Is he speaking any words? Because I think I heard him say yaru yaru. And he's like scared, and he's like,
there's part of the shtick for his character is that he just has a voice actor go into like gibberish. Yeah, he's just because he's a kid, so he's just like just talking to word, just I don't know, just
it's absolute gibberish. And she knows what he's saying, but
everybody's just looking at him like
it makes. I'm like, one, it's super goofy, and I'm like, I can see it now. Like now that you're telling me how they went kind of goofy on all this stuff, like. The grandpa has an old man voice, but it's like asking somebody to just make up an old man voice.
Do your best old man voice.
He's like, I'm an old man. Like as goofy as you could possibly. Okay, yeah, it's pretty dang funny.
Yeah, it's like watching it in the Japanese sub. It's gonna be like a very different story.
Yeah,
like it's not gonna be that's what it is. Be more serious.
Interesting. Especially because people kind of like you say if you're doing the dubbed, you're like you're swine. Like what are you doing? This is uncultured swine. That you should be watching this sub. But no, this is the way to watch this show.
Yeah, this is the English way to watch. Is the way to watch this show, which we'll get into that more. Because there's some animes that unfortunately suffered from English dubs.
Okay, so this is a popular show. Like, is this
it's becoming like a cult classic. Okay. Just because, like I said, it's ridiculous the way their dialogue is, and they're just saying like off the wall stuff. And so it's just that's what's picking it back up.
By the way, there's two things you should know about me, Joe Angel. I live my life a quarter mile at a time, and two.
If you're not first, you're last.
No. Actually, just say no to everything.
Just say no to everything.
I wrote that down. The dad drops him off at school and goes, remember, just say no to everything.
It's the best way to make sure your kids are good. Okay.
Really?
Just
That's
say no to everything.
Really great advice. Just say no to everything. Oh my gosh. Do you have any questions for me? Because I think I may have asked you all of mine.
So there is another English dub version that I found out about.
Another one on top of this one,
on top of this one that stayed true to the original dialogue.
Okay,
but I think it's like.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Like, is that
it was by another studio, Animex,
mm-hmm.
Which is part of like the same grouping. They did an alternate dub which stayed true to the dialogue and the plot for most of it. But I think that's like in another country kind of region like thing.
I'm not interested.
But this one's like yeah, like I said, this one just took off so much better, and people gravitated towards this version more. And so it was just like, yeah, like I said, it's been making the rounds, and people have been like talking about it constantly.
It's brilliant. I'm like, if they did this, has this been done more times? Like, are there other animes that have done this? Like, taken this same kind of MXC kind of, just off the wall, keep some of this stuff, and then just like write whatever you want and just go like ham. Like, are there other, or is this?
There's some other anime. One we'll get into.
Okay, I don't want to, like I don't want us to go too far, but I'm just wondering.
There's like some stuff that'll be like, yeah, there'll be some in the sense of like this. Kind of get a little funny, silly. Some of it'll be studio will give it to the director, like, hey, do what you want to do type stuff.
Right now would be the part where if we had somebody producing this, they could put in some of those audio clips. The guy, the teacher or somebody, he comes in.
Hey, kids.
Yeah, you silly kids. What are you doing?
School's over.
Oh my gosh. It was so well performed. I'm like, gosh, the choices made were just like, yes, these guys made the right choice on everything. I was literally laughing out loud.
All right, so part of this is going to be keeping track if Sal is going to watch these.
Okay,
our yes and no list.
Yes and no list.
Starting with Ghost Stories. Sal,
Ghost Stories.
Is this going to be a yes?
Yes. It's a big yes, actually. I think anybody could enjoy this show.
Yeah.
Like, it really, I guess if you have a sense of humor, now that and you know what, before you told me how this all came about, like, I was already kind of like, yeah, I could watch this show. But now that I know the origin story, depth of it, like, yeah, now I'm like really intrigued, because I'm now like, when I'm watching the show, and now that I know this and thinking back to some of the stuff that was said, I'm like, there's some stuff that's like said under their breath, like really fast. Yeah. That I'm like, oh, those are just little jokes. Those are just little jokes that just like, they didn't even say that, they just wrote it in because it's funny. I'm like, yeah, I could definitely see myself watching the rest of the show, like. And especially because, once again, there's not that much. There's only 2 seasons. 2 seasons?
No, this one's 1. There's
only 1 season. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna watch it right now. I'll watch all of it.
That's I said. It takes in Japan after that 1 season.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's accessible enough for me to kind of like.
A lot of people are wondering if they're gonna do a second one, just because English dub is becoming a cult classic.
Yeah.
That maybe they could come back with a second.
Are we talking about cult classic just now? Like, because this was released.
It's been going on. It's been like a slow build. Mm-hmm. But like I said,
we're talking like 10 years ago, right?
Yeah, about 10 years ago. But like, I think TikTok helped it a lot because people started clipping it and putting it on TikTok, and it just went on fire.
Okay.
Like, made the rounds. Like I said, people started looking it up more and started becoming more of like kind of that background.
Dude, it's legit funny. And the it's got a strong concept. I mean, they've got this book, they've got the mother who's passed away, who left this book and they can they're gonna defeat these spirits, these demons, and put them in this tree. It's Ghostbusters, meets the Goonies meets silliness meets MXC.
Meets MXC.
I mean, it really makes sense for me to invest in the show like this. That's I find entertaining.
Yeah.
And by the way, what kind of show is this? What is this? What are we a?
This is almost so. The original Japanese dub would be like a mystery type show because, like I said, it's based on kids. Kind of because originally Japanese audio, it's Scooby-Doo-ish. It is Goonies-ish. It's these kids. They're just helping out. They're trying to get these ghosts out of their school and stuff like that.
But they're not. There's no tournament of power. There's no
no. It's more of
karate or
mystery ghost story.
Nobody can shoot fire out of their eyes or anything like that. Maybe the demons can probably do that, but no spoilers.
No spoilers.
So that's a yes.
That one's a yes. All right.
Yep.
That's good.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
And you know what? If we keep doing this, I will come back and report on the shows that I continue to watch.
Yeah, we will have a yes and a no list.
Yeah.
On your nose, we'll come back. I'll show you a different episode and maybe try to get you on and then hey, this is what it's gonna build up to.
Mm-hmm.
You think you would. It's like Game of Thrones season 1.
Yeah.
You got to get through season 1, or
The
Walking Dead season 1. You got to get through that just to get to the good stuff.
And by the way, I don't know if it's probably best that we just do the first episode because I'm thinking would it be bad for us to jump in the middle of a season and you tell me, you know what, episode 5 of season 2, and then I'm going to go backwards because then that's all spoiled, right? I probably have some things that would
I'll try to keep it to a minimum.
Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm fine with it, but I'm wondering if that's what would happen if I were to go, dude, watch this episode of this
particular one.
Yeah, in the middle of a season, and you go, well, no, now I don't know what's going on for 1, and 2, I think it would be spoiled, right? Maybe. I don't know.
We'll see.
I think first episode is just fine. Hey, Joe Angel, thanks for animating me, bro.
No problem.
And I'm an animaniac.
Animaniac.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But yeah. So thanks for listening and joining us on this podcast. If you have any suggestions that you want us to watch, any kind of animes you think that we would watch or want to put us on, or if you have your own, if you go and watch these episodes of these animes that you've never seen, leave us a comment.
Yeah,
Let us know how you feel about it.
Maybe we missed something, or maybe Joe Angel got all the names wrong.
Maybe I got all the names. Tell me how to pronounce these names in Japanese, because my weeb level is not that high. By the way, weeb is what they call anime nerds.
Oh, okay.
So when you hear about weebs, that's an anime nerd.
Okay. So am I a weeb noob?
You're
No, I'm not
you're,
even
you're
close.
a poser.
I'm a poser. I can't name any of the songs that's on this band shirt I'm wearing.
You're the teenage girl who wears the Nirvana shirt and says, "Oh yeah, I love Blink-182."
Hot Topic has been so good to me.
So good.
These bracelets are unbreakable.
All right, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.
On the flippity flip.
Sayonara.